Let it be known that Metal Music Half Hour is brought to you by the makers of Oxy and OxyClean.
Say, if you're serious about your sporting firearms, chances are you're already a customer of CR Specialty. For over 36 years, CR Specialty's been providing the best product and service to Kansas City sportsmen. Now there's a third location to serve you in Grandview at 12,138 Blue Ridge Extension. That's west of 71 Highway on Blue Ridge. And during the grand opening, CR's offering specials like Ruger Model 7722, a 22 caliber bolt-action rifle for just $249.95. Price is good at CR Specialty downtown Shawnee and Grandview. CR Specialty, the area's outdoor supply paradise.
A lot of accident claims never get a fair hearing because many people think you have to be rich to have a lawyer. But it can cost you plenty to settle your own claim, and you don't have to. At Hyatt Legal Services, we took the fear out of legal fees. Before you sign something you don't understand, come in and talk to one of our lawyers. We'll help you fight for what you're entitled to. I'm Joel Hyatt, and you have my word on it. We took the fear out of legal fees across the country and in your neighborhood.
We're not the first. We're not the first furniture store to offer 2 years free financing. But hold it, we've got 2 years free and prices you can afford. Furniture World. Yes, 2 years free financing at both Furniture World stores. Now, a purchase 500 or more means you're qualified. You put nothing down but sales tax. No interest. Honest. No catch. 2 years free financing on brand names priced right. Now, everything at both Furniture World stores. Value World Center and I-29 at 64th Street.
Watch Oprah weekdays at 4 on TV4. The following is a rebroadcast of tonight's Action 4 Nightcast. From the Kansas City news leader WDAF-TV, this is Action 4 Nightcast with Cynthia Smith, Bill Witt, Dan Henry Weather, and Gordon Docking Sports.
Hello again, everyone. Relief tonight for a Martin City businessman cleared of possible criminal charges in the shooting deaths of 2 intruders. The Jackson County prosecutor this afternoon ruled the killing of the 2 by John Fenton was justified. The dead men apparently forced their way into Fenton's business as he slept inside after 3 previous burglaries. Fenton fired 3 shots, killing them both with a handgun. Bob Phil tonight on whether the ruling is a green light to blast away at burglars.
May use deadly force in that situation if you have a reasonable belief that it's necessary to protect yourself, either from death or serious bodily injury.
Prosecutor Albert Riederer admits the case is unusual. It's the first time he can remember a double homicide as self-defense in the course of a burglary. Nonetheless, Riederer sees his decision affirmed today by a grand jury as the right one. That despite the fact Fenton, the owner of the Waldo Foundation Company, was inside the building when the alleged break-in occurred, and that the 2 men were not armed, although one did have tools in a back pocket.
The evidence that we had indicates that he was not waiting in ambush for them. If he had been waiting in an ambush, that may well have affected the decision that was made.
Today's ruling once again raises the controversial question, just how far can a business owner or even a homeowner go to protect his property or even his life?
Are we to have license as individuals to take people's lives when our property is in danger? And I don't think we should have. I don't think we have that right or that duty. That law enforcement belongs to the police.
The head of the Western Missouri and Kansas American Civil Liberties Union says the prosecutor's decision sends messages both to the criminal and to the property owner. The criminal left wondering if it's now open season in Jackson County. The property owner assessing the fine line between overreacting and self-protection.
Are we a country of laws, or are we a country that takes laws into our own hands?
It's basically a common sense law.
Bob Phil, Action 4 Nightcast.
A funeral procession 4.5 miles long, 600 cars, and 1,300 mourners today at the funeral of Missouri State Trooper Russell Harper. Missouri said farewell with honors to its 3rd state trooper killed in the line of duty in the past 2 years. Law officers from 22 states joined Harper's family and Governor Ashcroft in laying to rest the 18-year patrol veteran. Someone gunned down Harper last weekend after the trooper stopped a pickup just outside Springfield on routine patrol. 31-year-old Glenn Sweet of nearby Squires, Missouri, is charged with the murder. He's pleaded innocent. David Tate, the Idaho neo-Nazi found guilty of murdering another state trooper, is appealing his conviction on a federal weapons charge. That conviction stems from Tate's shooting of Trooper Jimmy Linegar in southern Missouri in April 1985. Tate's lawyer told federal appeals court judges that law officers did not have a warrant when they searched Tate's van and found illegal weapons, so he says the conviction should be overturned. Tate is serving 50 years for the weapons conviction and 2 life sentences for Liniger's murder and the wounding of another trooper.
The mayor of Osceola, Arkansas, sits at home tonight fearing for his life. Someone blew up his airplane today, and authorities a short time later found an unexploded bomb taped to his car. Greeley Kyle on this frightening day.
An early morning blast ripped the top off an airplane owned by Dick Pruitt, the mayor of Osceola, Arkansas. Less than a month ago, officials say another plane that looked just like the mayor's was destroyed by a similar explosion. His home is under armed guard. Family members say they're fearful because what appeared to be another bomb was found there this morning.
If it had gone off, the size of the bomb would have probably done a lot of damage.
Osceola's mayor of 16 years was under guard in his office, but was advised not to comment by the FBI. Investigators are wondering if the bombings are connected to a fire that gutted City Hall last week. Officials say the blaze was deliberately set. The town's residents are frightened.
Nobody seems to know what it's all about or why it's happening. But it seems like that there is some kind of someone around here has it in for the mayor of the city of Osceola.
No one knows the motive for the bombings, but speculation center around a heated mayoral race and disgruntled city employees. Greeley Kyle in Osceola, Arkansas for NBC News.
A tough night for St. Louis firefighters who battled a fire tonight at the old Gateway Hotel. The 5-alarm fire at the unoccupied building took about 2 hours to bring under control. 3 firefighters suffered minor injuries trying to put out the flames. The blaze apparently started in the basement of the 18-story building, which had been slated for renovation.
The people running Kemper Arena, which is losing money for the city, may find themselves turning away business. Rock concerts, a Kemper staple, have come under fire by a small religious group. But as Doug Sudoff reports, the group now has the support of at least one city councilman.
Sometimes action at rock concerts moves outside the auditorium, like during Alice Cooper's Kemper Arena show 1 week ago.
Why? 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 Because they put on a show like this?
As we showed you then, parents worried about rock's alleged drug, violence, and satanic impact on the young picketed outside Kemper. Some of those protesters met with Councilman John Sharp this week. Sharp says those 20 or so people want an ordinance establishing a citizens review committee. A committee to screen which rock groups may play at city-run Kemper and municipal auditorium. Rock promoter Chris Fritz calls the idea unconstitutional and sees legal problems.
I think the city would have a hard part because then they'd have lawsuits probably from a lot of bands that they would turn down from discrimination.
Councilman Sharp agrees. The city asks for trouble by banning rock groups. Instead, he wants to use some fine print to control what goes on at rock concerts.
We could require that group to sign a contract that they would not promote illegal activity, and to require them to put up a performance bond which would be forfeitable if they violated.
Sharp asked city staff to review legality of his proposal, hopes for an answer within a month. Meanwhile, the music of groups like Iron Maiden, scheduled for a municipal auditorium concert next month, mean money for city coffers.
It's penny wise and pound foolish to try to make a few bucks off bringing a rock group in that promotes drug use.
But Chris Fritz doubts rock and roll, no matter how gross, leaves America's youth twisted.
A show. I mean, it's a lot of this is all make-believe.
Doug Sudoff, Action 4 Nightcast.
Richard Berkeley, a Republican, continues to pile up important Democratic backing in his run for re-election as mayor of Kansas City, Missouri. 2 influential Democratic clubs in the old northeastern part of the city say they are backing Berkeley over challenger Jim Heater, a Democrat, in the city's nonpartisan election. The Northeast Democratic Club and the Allied Democratic Club are led by state representatives Ronnie DePasco and Henry Rizzo. Coming up on the Nightcast, President Reagan reaching out to the elderly.
And Jerry Side visits his in-laws in Kansas City, Kansas.
It's Captain Money Express, dedicated to helping people who need any type check cashed quickly, anytime, any day, from $1 to $100,000.
I'm new in town, and nobody will cash this check for me. I need to buy food and pay the rent.
When you need a check cashed quickly and free money orders, Money Express is there, and no ID is required.
Thanks, Money Express.
Money Express.
Yeah, I bet you forgot to take your tonic, Grandpa. friend.
Fine-tune your body.
Coupon. Dine in. Take out.
In an hour than ever before on MTV.
No salesman will call.
More truth than advertising.
Surveyed nationwide.
More than less.
money
Choose aspirin over sugarless.
When you were just a little kid, and your mommy used to warn you not to sit too close to the TV set. Well, you know something? She was right.
Oh, God, I hope not. It's Dweezil. Coming up, you got Glass Tiger, also Alan Parsons' project. But let's just watch Robert Cray, shall we?
HL Hockey, brought to you in part by Dale Sports. Anyone can sell sporting goods, only Dale sells sporting greats. Visit Dale Sports' 5 convenient locations and don't miss the next NHL hockey game on Channel 10B, ESPN.
It's slow-moving until the late arrival of Lisa Bonet. One thumb up, one down. We both agree that the thriller Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is basically a waste of film stock, 2 thumbs down. We agreed with some reservations that Tin Men, with Danny DeVito and Richard Dreyfuss, is worth seeing. 2 thumbs up for different reasons, though. And we split on the teen romantic triangle, Some Kind of Wonderful. Roger liked the performances. I did, too.
On dreams. We're going to try to see how far we've come since then. Dr. ROSALIND Cartwright is the director of the Sleep Disorders Service at Rush Presbyterian St. Luke's Medical Center in Chicago. She has moved Freud's couch into the modern-day sleep lab to study the dreams of some people going through divorce.
Now you've had 4 dreams in a row, and the third one, it's about your son and the feeling of having missed some closeness time that you really wanted with him. Was that a good dream or a bad dream, Kathy? What'd you say? It was a good dream, but...
Dr. Cartwright is trying to find out why we dream what we do. She wonders if dreams serve a particular psychological function, especially in times of crisis. Kathy Quinn is in the midst of a difficult divorce. She's fighting with her husband over custody of their children. She volunteered to be part of Cartwright's 3-year study.
At night, you don't have a control over what comes out in your mind. And yet if you get up and you write down your dream or tell someone, then they can go from that point to see, you know, what kind of help you need or where you're going or coming from.
Can you tell me what was going through your mind just before I called?
I saw a man standing in my doorway. He sort of grabbed my shoulder and I thought he was going to hand me a subpoena, but he didn't.
Dr. ROSALIND Cartwright has joined us in studio this morning. As we saw in that tape, you bring your patients into the sleep lab, wake them right after they dream, and talk over what they dreamed.
That's right.
Can they always remember in detail?
If you catch them in the act, yes. Now, if we waited till morning, you could only catch the tail end of the last dream of the night. But as Dr. Hobson was telling you yesterday, we dream 3, 4, or 5 times every night. So in the laboratory, when we wake them when the dream is actually ongoing, then we can get all of those dreams. We can get the 4 that Kathy had that night.
How detailed are we talking about?
Very detailed. We're talking about a full story each time, and they're interconnected, Brian. It's like if I waited till morning to find out what was going on the night before's dreams, it's like getting the last page of a novel and trying to reconstruct the whole story. But if I wake them each time they dream, it's like getting all the chapters in the book.
In the main, though, are those chapters coherent or are they pretty bizarre?
No, they're quite coherent. There's a logical sequence to the night. And in the laboratory, that's very apparent. Now, if I only get the punchline of the joke in the morning and try to reconstruct the joke,
Sure.
You say, that's a crazy dream. But if you get the whole thing, it makes a lot of sense.
But most of us would contend that we can't remember our dreams.
That's
Can we
right.
really? That we're just not accustomed to bringing them up?
That's right. We have no training in dream recall in this culture. We're considered in trouble if we're daydreaming.
You say it that way because in some cultures, dreams are very important.
Oh, yes, but not ours. We focus kids on reality, you know, very hard. Don't daydream, don't dawdle, don't sit around and mope. You know, we use nasty words for paying attention to what's going on inside. And nobody wants to hear your dream. That, you know, if you try to tell somebody a dream, they think it's a bore. It's interesting to you, but nobody else.
But are dreams really then a window into the subconscious? I mean, do they have a hidden meaning, something that we're not inclined to expose when we're awake?
It's a match made in heaven. You and a used car truck from Dennis Used Car City. It's our Valentine's Day sale with dad blame low prices you're going to love. We've shot the prices out on all our used vehicles. From 2 CDs for special sweeties to red buggies with big back seats. Late model, low mileage vehicles. So if you're looking for a special used vehicle at a sweet little price, hurry over to Dennis Used Car City, I-35 and Frontage Road. It all ends Saturday at 6 p.m. That's 2 dash way low.
Lethal Weapon has a lot going for it. The action scenes are brutal, and they're effective. And the plot, even though it gets a bit bizarre and implausible at points, is more than enough to keep our interest. But the best part of this movie is the chemistry between the two stars, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. It's just a joy to watch their friendship blossom on screen. And it's these characters, very believable characters, who make this a rousing cop thriller with a great sense of humor. In fact, it's probably the best film of its type since Beverly Hills Cop, and easily the best action film of the year so far.
I agree. I'd almost compare it to The French Connection. Not quite, but pretty close, Michael.
Wow.
That's a great compliment. You know about this movie that I liked? I love the reality. When you're sitting back and you're seeing Danny Glover at home with his family, suddenly violence is just around the corner, about to erupt. All through this movie, Richard Donner, the director, very carefully spaces the violent scenes so that when they do come,
Angel Heart, and it's a
they are so sudden and so unexpected, you could feel it in your chest. That's the tension in this movie.
Yeah, between that and the normal life, because it shows you a little bit more of the normal life of a cop.
Your #1 sports team.
I love this business.
Tomorrow on the Sunday Night Movie.